behind the scenes have been very, 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 very good days for all of us. By now, most of us are now, hopefully we're starting to come to grips, excuse me, that revenue sharing, as we have come to love, adore her over the past couple of years, that type model just will not pass the regulatory muster the way we had hoped that it would. And so there's got to be wholesale modifications. And this was not something that Jubi knew up front. If so, then Jubi wouldn't have started off with this compensation model. But with everything that's been going on, and we're even seeing, Queen, other companies, there's a lot of companies that's popping up that have a revenue sharing model that's in advertising. Right. Guys, I'm going to tell you, if they bring on U.S. customers, they bring on U.S. affiliates, they're going to have at some point the same challenges. If they don't make the modifications, they're going to have the same issues. So revenue sharing, as we have come to love and respect and honor and love her, ladies and gentlemen, that's not going to be we will still have revenue sharing. The characteristics obviously are going to change. Okay, the characteristics are going to change. By the way, I know another company out there, and I hope they are able to rebound. They're having challenges. As a matter of fact, their rewards are less than our rewards right now. One of the things that we talked about last night is that I don't know the full details, and I still think that's being worked on with the consultants and what have you, looking at the numbers. But I want everyone to exhale as it relates to when your points are going to retire. I don't know what the extension is going to be. I don't think that will be shared on tonight, because I think that's still being mapped out. I just got off the phone 15 minutes ago, or maybe 20, with Jay Joshua. So as of 15, 20 minutes ago, there were some numbers that were talked about, but they want to sit down and go through all the actuarial numbers and make sure that they make sense before they bring it out to the public. But whether you're Jade or Ruby or Emerald or Diamond, don't focus right now on, oh my gosh, if I'm Jade and I started in April 8th, we started the daily revenue sharing, I've got 80 days from that time before my points retire, and we know that the points or the reward per point is low. I expect it to continue to be low for the next couple of weeks until people start to wrap their brains around the new compensation plan. And even thereafter, we've got to understand this, even thereafter, once the new system is in place and then we start seeing sales pick up as a result, remember 50% of the company's revenue going forward is not going to go into the DLB, all right? So I would not expect that we're going to have 0.013 days, okay? Now, in lieu of that, the company is going to extend points. The company is going to extend points. Again, don't know the exact time frame, but I want you to do 1, 2, 3, exhale. 1, 2, 3. At least my points aren't retiring in 20 days or 30 days or 40 days or what have you. Okay, all right. So now, with that being said, let me just share a couple things in the background that's been happening. We know we've been waiting on a couple of the digital delivery products, mainly one dealing in travel. I would imagine maybe on Monday night, but the challenge that we had, and this was very unfortunate because it really was about ready to go about 4 weeks ago. There was something on the vendor side. It took them forever to finally get it resolved, but it looks like they've gotten that resolved, so that should be coming out real soon. Also, I know there's another major travel component, particularly that would be geared towards the international market. Now, there's still some negotiations going on in terms of price points and so on and so forth. But if they can finalize that and get the price points that the company's looking for, excuse me, I was probably on a webinar for close to an hour today with Jay Joshua and this particular vendor that could add a major piece to the travel element. Now, I think it would be available in the U.S., but it wouldn't be, we're still focused in the U.S. on the physical delivery of products. But for the international folks, I'm telling you what I saw. I hope that the numbers come together negotiation-wise. So if they don't, and I come back and say, hey guys, that one's not going to work, don't beat me up. But what I saw was extremely impressive. Extremely, extremely, extremely impressive. So I'm hoping that there'll be some finality as to whether or not they get those numbers, maybe the first part to middle part of next week. Assuming they come, you know, in the numbers that they want. Excuse me, I'm on a parasite cleanse, so forgive me guys if I'm coughing. I'm sorry. Assuming that happens, boy, give me a moment. Assuming that happens, it would still take a little time for it all to be programmed out or what have you. But that would be, I'm telling you this, from what I saw today, a company could be built on the product that I saw today internationally. Now in the U.S., we still have some problems because of how the U.S. doggone it. But if you were just talking about internationally, a company, a very strong company, could be built on what I saw today. So hopefully, the numbers will work, and we may see that being implemented. Again, it would still be available for the U.S., but it wouldn't be the focal point. The focal point would be international. So know, international folks, that the company is working feverishly, particularly in light of the new products. The new product packages, to make sure that you're going to have a tremendous product package with tremendous value. Additionally, what will probably also happen, let's assume that what I just discussed does come to fruition, and that becomes a very nice product that fits into the $4.99 US dollar range to $12.50 US dollar range as well. What would probably happen is, in time, we would probably have income opportunity webinars that are geared towards the U.S. Canadian audience, because we'd be talking more about physical delivery products there, and we'd probably have separate webinars that's more for the international, where you talk more about, you know, the products or the digital deliveries products that go with international. That way, the international folks, that's really all they're hearing. They're not hearing so much the physical delivery products and vice versa. Okay. All right. Now, what I want to do very quickly is spend maybe 15 minutes just kind of going through the PowerPoint, some parts of the PowerPoint of the new compensation. Some of you have been with us since Tuesday, so this is going to be the third time you've seen and or heard. So hopefully that's starting to stick now. Some of you are here for the first time. You haven't been with us all week, so I want to do this very quickly. All right, so now that the revenue sharing model that we've come to love so much and so dear, now that we know we've got to transition our thinking, because the reality is, please hear me, all right, please hear me. Now what we know is that if any company that has a revenue sharing model does business with U.S. customers or U.S. reps, it cannot, long-term, from a regulatory standpoint, it's not going to be able to do what we have come to know, okay? And that's namely, you're getting points because you purchase ad units, or you're getting points because you purchased Jubi Bucks, you gave them away. No, you're going to have those Jubi Bucks would have to be used, okay? Or you get commissioned on Jubi Bucks. What some of the consultants and attorneys, and there's still, you know, some who think that we can and some who think that we can't. But since there's no case law right now, we don't want to be the first case. And then all of a sudden, you know, the regulator said, no, you can't commission on Jubi Bucks, and then, you know, people are disgraced, and then orange jumpsuits come out. Okay, we want to make sure that's not happening. Okay, so we're in this transition mode. We're starting to transition our thinking. We still want Joe and Susie average to be able to make money. Okay, so we're still going to have the daily leadership bonus. And what I'm about to share with you right now is going to feed into the DOB. Going to feed into the DOB as well. And so whether or not you see yourself as a big recruiter or not, you won't have to be with this new system. You'll still be able to generate some money. Those of us who are good at building, you're going to make a ton of money. And as we're out as leaders building this, this is going to also help to put funds into the DOB. Now, will people make $10,000 a day from the DOB? I doubt it. I doubt that we'll see that. But could it be that people from the DOB, even the folks that aren't big builders and what have you, could they still make enough to where at the end of the day, at the end of the month, they look at what their monthly expenses were in their Jubi business, and they were profitable, and they see that things are happening, and they've got some money? Yes, I expect that to happen. I expect that to happen. All right, so let's talk about this maximum impact income opportunity or compensation model. Essentially, let's talk about you earning $1,000 and then $10,000 bonuses again and again. So what's going to happen is when people come aboard, they're going to want to get starter package qualified. They're going to want to get fast start qualified. Excuse me. Number one, fast start qualified. The second thing they're going to want to do is they're going to fill up what we call now their A team. Now, I've called it a home team previously, but it looks like it's going to be called the A team. And then as you complete your A team, then we want to graduate so we can start collecting fast start bonuses. Now, there's going to be two ways that people can get fast start qualified. Now, understand that all of us that are in the system and upgraded are already considered fast start qualified, okay? So when I talk about the two ways for people to get fast start qualified, I'm talking from the vantage point of the new person or the new guy, the new gal who comes aboard once the system is instituted, okay? Number one, they could purchase their own fast start package, either a $500 or a $1,250 package. US is going to be physical delivery product, international. There's going to be digital delivery product. Will probably focus on travel, particularly if what I saw today, if that deal gets landed. And I'm telling you, if that deal gets landed, that'll be a big deal. That would be a huge deal. Okay. All right. So $499 and $1,250. So there's two ways for a person to become starter qualified. They either purchase the starter pack, either the $499 or the $1,250, or they enroll 3 others that purchase a starter pack. So if somebody says, I don't have $499 or $1,250, that's okay. Come on and get started with us. We'd like to see them at least upgrade and get at least a monthly subscription or monthly auto ship, whether it's the $15 or the $50 or $100 or $200, okay? And then let's go to work so that we can get them qualified. So if someone says, I don't have the money to get a starter pack, that is not an excuse. Someone says, I don't have the money, that is not an excuse. Remember, we are all upgraded already, and the system is going to flag us as all being starter package qualified. We do not have to purchase the $499, nor will the company allow us to do it anyway. All right, so this is you. You are Hal, okay? All right. Whoops. You know what? Some of this is still some notes here, okay? So this isn't completed here. So some of this is still some notes that you might see. So this is you. You are Hal right here. Now, what you want to do is you need just 6 VIP package sales. All right. It says VIP. Some of the language, again, they're still working on the PowerPoint. The VIP package sale, that's the same thing as a starter package, okay? So you need 6 of those sales. 2 of those need to be personally enrolled by you. So here you are, you're Hal, and you enroll Marlene, and you enroll, that looks like your twin brother. You enroll your twin brother, Sam. They purchase those packages, all right? Whether it's the $499 variety or the $1,250, whether it's the $499 or whether it's the $1,250. It doesn't matter how the other 4 come into being. So it could be you referred to, that referred to, that would be 6. It could be that you referred to, and one of your 2, in this case, let's say Marlene, refers 1, 2, 3. They all purchase the packages. And your twin brother here only enrolled 1 that purchased a package. It could be that Marlene enrolled 1 and her 1 enrolled 1 and their 1 enrolled 1. Doesn't matter, as long as you got a total A team of 6 sales, you now get promoted. Now, one thing that's not showing here is you do get a direct sale commission of 10%. So if Marlene purchases a $500 package, you get a 10% commission, $50. If your twin brother here purchases a $1,250 package, you get a 10% commission, $125. Okay, now, once you have your 6 in your A team, you now start your max team. You're now qualified as a Max team leader. And at this point, you will enroll one other person to start your Max team, okay? The very next person that you enroll, let's say this is Charlene. The very next person you enroll, Charlene in this example, she starts your Max team. Now, your Max team, ladies and gentlemen, every person that joins or is in your Max team, every person that's in your Max team will start building out their A team. So Charlene is going to start building out her A team within your Max team. Charlene will start to build out her A team within your Max team, okay? So she wants to get to Max team. She needs to do 2 and 6. 2 that she personally enrolled, a total of 6 sales in her Max team. Okay, now, so each member that joins your Max team is busy building their own A team within your Max team, and while they are building, each promoter that joins their A team is still in your Max team, okay? And so your Max team can grow phonetically, all right, frantically, I should say. It can grow. Remember, we just had Marlene, and now all of a sudden we've got Chuck over here, and we've got Peter right here, and we've got Rodney there, and we've got, I guess that might have been Marlene there, and then we've got Edward right here. All right, all of these folks are growing their A teams in your Max team, and your Max team is going to pay you to an unlimited depth. So Marlene here, she wants to get Charlene wants to get qualified. In order for her to get qualified, she's got to have her 2 sales. So she gets her 2 sales, went fantastic. She gets her personal referral commissions, all right? And then maybe they go to work and they get a couple folks there. And now all of a sudden, there are 6 sales in your Max team. You just got a $1,000 bonus. You just got a $1,000 bonus. Now, it could be either the 6 sales, 500, 500, 500, 500, 500, 500, or it could be that there was some 1250 sprinkled in which case, if you get $3,500 in starter volume, see if that's in here. Nope. If you get $3,500 in starter volume, you would get a $1,000 bonus. So, for instance, if Charlene purchased a 1250 pack, 1250, Hal purchased a 500 pack, 1750 to 1250 plus the 500. This young lady here purchased a 500 pack. Now we're up to 2250. And this gentleman Rodney here purchased a 1250 pack. Now we're up to 3500. You didn't have 6 sales. You had 1, 2, 3, 4. But the volume from the 6 equaled 3,500. So it's going to be either 6 sales of the 500 or a total volume of 3,500 in your Max team, and you just cycled and got a $1,000 bonus. It would then reset, and for the next 6 sales of 500 or 3,500 in cumulative volume, another $1,000 bonus, and another $1,000 bonus, then another $1,000 bonus. And so what starts to happen is your Max team starts to grow, and remember, every 6 sales is a $1,000 bonus to you, the Max team leader. Now, when you first started off your Max team, it was basically you and Charlene responsible for helping to grow the 6 sales. Now, all of a sudden, look at all these folks here that have not yet necessarily become Max team leaders yet themselves. Now you've got 5, 10, 15, 20, 30. So is it easier for you to go and get 6 sales yourself, or is it easier for you and a team of 30 to get 6 sales? Or a team of, then eventually a team of 50, then eventually a team of 100. So Queen, there was a company that had this type model before, and Dave Kaninsky, I don't think Dave's on with us on this side. Dave was telling me yesterday, he said, and this was really eye-opening, because he was with that company that had this type model. This is the same model, Queen, that in 2002 I was with that company that had this kind of model, and they went through early on, just like we're dealing with. Circumstances were different, but just like we're dealing with, they went through a little restructuring. They changed their compensation plan. And because, Queen, I had just come off of a situation where I had been wronged by a company, when I saw them change the compensation plan, I got out of there. I left, okay? 2.5 years later, I'm with another company. I'm doing very well. I'm making $20,000 a month. But the guy who was really responsible for me being with that company that had this type compensation model, he had stayed there. He was making $250,000 a month. I was making 20 grand. He was making 250 grand. I was making 20 grand. He was making 250 grand. And by the way, Queen, that company didn't have a revenue sharing model. Okay? No. Okay. All right. Now, this is what Dave told me. Dave said he was with that company also, and he got, as a matter of fact, the other day when Dave was on the call and we were going over this, he got, I mean, he was getting all excited, you know, and Queen, I was still at the funeral service.
You were still at morning too about.
Yeah, I was still at the graveside service, you know, about to go back for the repast. I was getting hungry. It's time for the repast, right? So I was still at the graveside service, and Dave was getting really pumped up about this compensation model. I saw it from afar. I wasn't there when all the money was being made, okay? And what Dave told me, he said, I made more money in my first 9 months with that company that had this type model than I did with a company that many of us know and love in the revenue sharing world that unfortunately is no longer with us. He said, than I did in the first 9 months I was there. And I thought about it, and I thought, well, wait a minute. Yeah, that makes sense to me. Why? Because here is the one thing about revenue sharing that most of us probably haven't thought as much of. The reality, Queen, is that most people with a revenue sharing model, they see commissions, they see overrides on the screen.
Right.
But there's a big difference in what you see on the screen and what translates into your pocketbook or your purse or your wallet or your checking account. So the reality is that most of us that have loved the revenue sharing model, what we saw on the screen and what we said we got paid every day, and yet what went to our actual pockets were two totally different things. So we've seen people have point totals of $500,000 when the rewards per point were 0.0172, $500,000 points, but still only put $2,000 a month in their pocket. Now, I was upset when I heard about that because that guy should have been, putting a lot more in his pocket, but only $2 grand. We've seen people build a 1 million point total and not pull out any monthly cash. This is not going to be the case with this model, Queen. You get these $1,000 bonuses, I better not hear that you went and bought $900 worth of Jubi bucks.
Okay.
All right. Now, we'll still be able to buy Jubi bucks. We'll still be able to give Jubi bucks away. Once they're used, we'll get points. And so, Queen, you may very well say, okay, you made $1,000. You might say, I'm going to take 10%, to buy Jubi bucks, maybe $100 worth of Jubi bucks, because I know I've got a customer that I'm going to be able to give this to, and they're going to use it. All right. It's not going to be like what we've done before, where you got $1,000, where I got a $40,000 e-cash from when we did our first commission run, and then I took $40,000. I did some pay it forwards, but in many cases with most of the $40,000, I just bought more Jubi bucks. No, we're not doing that. You make this cash, Tyron, doggone it, you put it in your pocket. $1,000, $1,000, $1,000, $1,000, $1,000, $1,000, $1,000, and then once you have, the company's going to change how we say this, once you have either $65,000 in cumulative volume or you've hit 17 cycles. Queen, I've said 100 sales, and it still comes out to right about that. But if you're talking to a new person, if you say 100 sales, that might kind of scare them. So 17 cycles, meaning you've had 17 $1,000 bonuses, 17 $1,000 bonuses, 17 $1,000 bonuses. And so once you have cycled 17 times, you now get your $10,000 bonus, either that or your $65,000 in SV, all right, which could happen sooner if you're getting some 1250s in your max team, okay? So this one that says 100 promoters, that's going to probably go away. You cycle 17 times or 65,000 in SB starter volume, you get your $10,000 bonus. So the reason Dave was so excited is because Dave told me in his closet he's got all of these big oversized checks for where he went across the stage and got some $10,000 bonuses, and for him to get $10,000 bonuses, he had to get a bunch of $1,000, $1,000, 1K, 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 17 times, boom, 10K. 1K, 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 17 times, boom, 10K. Okay? Now,
right.
So this is designed so that you can know, Jeff, what must I do to make $1,000 this week or this month or however often you want to make it. So one of the things I want you to do, ladies and gentlemen, is I want you to determine how much do you want to make from your bonus income. I want $1,000 a month. I want $1,000 a week. I want $1,000 every 2 or 3 days. And that's what Dave told me started to happen. It's, it started off, maybe it was $1,000 check every couple of months, and it was $1,000 check every week, month, and there was $1,000 check every week, and then there were, every couple of days, every 3 days, or what have you. Because as your max team is building, you got all these folks. In order for them to get to their max team, it has to be, hear me, multiples of 6. So that means you're benefiting, every person in your max team, you're benefiting potentially by a function of 6. And then their 6 needs 6 total in their team. And their 6 needs 6. And their 6 needs 6. So it doesn't take long, Queen, before you've got 30, 40, 50, 60 people in your max team all trying to get to their max team. And now all of a sudden, it doesn't take long for you to start hitting 6 sales, 6 sales, 6 sales, 6 sales, boom, 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 1,000, 1,000, 1,000, 1,000, 1,000, 1K, 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 17 times, boom, 10K. All right, let's speed this thing up. And there'll be other ways to earn, but this is the one that is probably the biggest excitement longer term for me, is the fact that in the unilevel, people will have monthly auto ships. Customers will be buying. There'll be a preferred customer program. Customers will be on auto ships. Customers will buy retail, so on and so forth. That'll be volume. And in the 8 levels, that part of the 8 levels doesn't change. The Jubi Suite doesn't go away. But what is going to happen is there's going to be a bonus where you're going to be able to get a paycheck match, everyone on your 5th level. 6th level, 7th level, 8th level. Now, I don't know the qualifiers, so I don't think that's just all given to us. I think we go through the ranks to match everybody, people on your 5th and on your 6th. But ultimately, we should all get those qualifiers. Again, I don't know what those qualifiers are. Okay, but Queen, this is what I want us to understand. Remember, we started sharing about the unilevel. We started sharing about the Jubi Suite. And we started saying, hey, let's build in 3s. We had no idea that these modifications and enhancements, this is a huge enhancement, was going to come about. Let's build in 3s, Queen. Tyron, I know you've personally enrolled 500 and some change, buddy. Hey, who's your top 3, Tyron? Louise, I know you personally enrolled 150, 200. Who's your top 3, Louise? Bev, Brasi, I know you've been out there building your business. Who's your top 3? George, Marin, in Australia, who's your top 3? All right, so let's find those 3, and then let's teach them to build in 3s and teach them to build in 3s. Now, if you did that perfectly, I know it's not a perfect world, but if you did that perfectly, Queen, that means that on your 5th level, you could have 243 folks that all have their own 8-level structure. And whatever they make from their 8-level structure, whatever they make from their residual income, you match it by up to 10%. So just imagine, Queen, if 243 people on your 5th level, they just got to the point where they were making $100 a month from the unilevel. Nobody's ultra rich. Nobody's really, a barn burner, what have you. This is an average. Somebody made 500. Somebody made nothing. Let's say it was an average of 100. If you took 243 times 100, what do you come up with, Queen?
Okay, what do you say now? Times
if you
100?
take 243 times 100, what do you come up with?
24,300.
All right, so what would be happening there is you would be getting, is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
Really?
2 zeros on the end of 243, too much. I pictured it.
24300 times 100. You're right. All right, but this is what I want us to get, guys. This is what I want us to get, because if that happened on the 5th level, you're getting a 10% match if they're making collectively $24,300. And I'm going to tell you that I've been in companies where all I essentially had was a unilevel and made almost 20 grand a month just through my organization. So I'm not even talking about if Tyron or if Bev or if Jeff is or if Ryan is on your 5th level, because they could make 20 grand by themselves. This is a combination effect, and you're matching that, and that's residual income. So while we're focusing on the 1K, 17 time boom, 10K, you also now have all these new folks that are coming aboard, getting on auto ship. Now we've got customers also getting on auto ship. We've got customers not on auto ship, but they get customer volume. We start doing coffee in the States and what have you, and that starts to take off, and Vitality eventually comes, and that starts to take off. I am being told that that Vitality product does not stay on the shelf, so that takes off. And so, Queen, what about your 6th level? There could be, if 3 beget 3 beget 3 beget 3, and think about it, in order for anybody to get to their max team, they have to personally enroll at least 3 themselves to start a max team. The first 2 that they enrolled, the 2 became 6, and then they enrolled the 3rd to start their max team. So, right. Queen, what I will be doing as a max team leader, what you will be doing as a max team leader, what Tyron's going to be doing as a max team leader is working with the folks in the max team to help them get to their max team. And guess what that starts to do on the back end? Build out your unilevel.
That's right.
Build out your unilevel. Build out your unilevel. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you what I anticipate is going to happen. There's going to be some people, Queen.
Yes.
There'll be some people. It's going to say, now I came here for revenue sharing as I loved it, and that's what I want, and if you can't give it to me, I'm going to go somewhere else, and I know it may not last long, but I'm going to get it as long as I can get it. And they're going to miss it. And that's okay. I've been there. One of the things I teach my sons, there's 15 and 17. Got so much more to teach them before they're out there on their own. Sons, every lesson that any human being has ever learned came accompanied with pain. Now, it didn't have to be your pain. The pain I had is in 2002 when I was with that company, that my buddy eventually started making $250,000 a month, and that my buddy Dave was has these big oversized $10,000 checks in his office on his closet. I was there, Queen. I was there, and I missed it. I was there.
You missed it because now you're here. There's another plan for you, too.
Yeah, okay, but learn from my pain. Look at level 7. Look at level 8. Okay, so I'm well over my 15 minutes. Let me stop there. Let's do optional Q&As. What I want you to see, ladies and gentlemen, I know that many of us are still coming to grips, and I do believe, Queen, if anyone has just lost a loved one recently, I certainly don't mean to be disrespectful to your loss. But, Queen, I'll be honest with you. I felt like I have gone through the emotions of having lost a loved one, coming to grips with what we've worked so hard for the last 2 years, that model, like that, ash to ashes, dust to dust, okay? But now when I walk away from the repast, Queen,
yeah.
Does that happen in every culture? When people die,
what,
you go, you say your goodbyes, and then you go and eat? Or does that just happen in my culture? Does that happen in every culture? I'd be curious. I'd be curious to know that. I haven't seen, I've never gone to one funeral, Queen, I've never gone to one funeral where afterwards they didn't go and get some, some eats. I don't know. Okay. yeah. Okay, guys. So when I said, okay, that it is what it is, and then I look at this compensation plan, and I think, Queen, we can rock this thing. We can rock this thing. We can get people making 10 grand a month and 20 grand a month and 30 and 50 and 100 grand a month or more, and then we can all sleep at night knowing our company is going to be here because we've basically taken out the exposure. The exposure's gone, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, let's go to questions and answers. And I'm ready when you are, Queen.
Okay.
I'd like to keep the questions and answers pretty much to the max comp plan as much as we possibly can. I was breaking up. Was I breaking up?
You were early on, but we haven't broken up in a long time too much. It was just really, really early on. It's breaking up just a little bit. I would have told you.
I want to say something. This person is gone and they've had to left, and someone said, I can't help but feeling somewhat betrayed, trying to get over it. Jubi is not the portrayal, okay? Jubi hasn't. Here's the thing, Queen.
Mm-hmm.
A company called Zeke Rewards didn't make modifications August 17th. They died of last year.
Right.
Go Fun Places, they just pulled out of the U.S. Jubi is doing what their attorneys have said, hey, if you want to take out the exposure, this is what you need to do. Do I like it? No. Do you like it? No. The company has not betrayed you. Now, are things different from what we all were hoping when we all got started? Sure. Believe me. And I understand that feeling. But it's not a betrayal. It's not a betrayal. It is making sure that we're here for the bigger picture, the longer-term picture, and not just, hey, let's just continue on the same path that we were on, and then we have another August 17th. Okay? Now, am I perturbed with certain attorneys and consultants? Yes, I am.
Yes.
Will I ever say names publicly? No, I will not.
No.
But am I perturbed? Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, I am.
And with certain companies, they just act like this is, a toy. Companies act like it's a toy, and and throw people under the bus.
Yeah. So that
a whole
part.
Country. They threw a whole country under the bus too much.
Yeah. So I'm really, really perturbed. I'm perturbed that action seemingly has caused just a major issue, and so I understand that, but I want you to understand you should not have a feeling of betrayal. You can be disappointed all day long, but no one is betrayed, and this is why what Jubi is doing, is to make sure that the elements of the compensation plan that we have no choice of making changes in, that we can begin to replace those with the other bonus incomes, and then replace it also with some really significant residual incomes. I didn't even talk about the advancement bonuses, so there are going to be huge bonuses or what have you. But I just wanted to address that, and I certainly understand. I understand that. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Michael is asking, how are we going to approach our associates to inform them of the new comp enhancements?
When he says associates, are we talking about those that never upgraded, or are we talking about those who have upgraded?
I think. I'm thinking he's talking about the ones who upgraded, who just haven't, who don't keep in touch, don't get on the calls, don't do, and we have to tell them because they have to know what to do.
Well, and let's handle it from two vantage points. So let's talk about the people that have upgraded. They are in the system, probably have points, so on and so forth. Well, this is where leadership comes in, and if you are their personal enroller in your back office under Jubi Team, you've got access to every single person that you have personally enrolled, whether they have upgraded or have not. You've got their email address, you've got their phone number. Now, some people don't like picking up the phone. The phone is an 800-pound gorilla, and that scares you, so email them. Now, it'd be more effective if you did pick up the phone. I'm your enroller in Jubi. Maybe you've never even connected with this person or what have you. Hey, do you know what's going on? You'll be able to see whether or not they are an associate, in which case they're not a Jade or a Ruby or what have you. And if they're a Jade, Ruby, Emerald, or Diamond, then they at least have their PV or PQV, which probably means that they have a monthly subscription or what have you. So I would definitely want to reach out to my personally enrolled. If they're already upgraded, reach out. You know about the exciting new changes. Now, why do I say that? And I say that real, meaning I'm not faking that. Yes, I still have to come to grips, and I've pretty much come to grips, like many of you are starting to now. of, okay, what I wanted, I can't have, I can will it, but I can't have what I wanted. And so now, okay, now what do we do? When I just look at this compensation element, when I look at the fact that, look at other companies in the industry that are more of your traditional companies, and I look at our compensation compared to it, this blows everything else away, in my opinion. And my very strong opinion, blows everything else away. So I would call those folks up. Hey, are you aware of the new enhancements that are coming? If not, you need to get on the webinar, so on and so forth. I would also put some focus on those folks who are associates. There's a reason they registered with you, but there's also a reason why they didn't upgrade. And the reason that they didn't upgrade, we don't know what that is, but I can tell you, Queen, that we had a lot of people that were set to come aboard with us that when there was the upheaval, especially on May 1, when things happened on May 1 with that company pulling out of the U.S., I can tell you right then, it really sent shockwaves through this part of the industry with this type model. And I had some folks ready to come. I know that there were some large teams that were just about to come, and they put on the brakes and they said, oh, let's just kind of sit things out for a while and let's see what's going to happen. So I believe there's going to be a lot of people that are out there that are looking for a good, solid company, but the compensation system is sexier than what they're seeing out there now. And that the way that they can build their business, we still have the ability to do the Jubi Bucks and all those good things as a way to incentivize customers to use products. We're just not going to be buying 2,500 Jubi Bucks at a time. So it still makes it easier for the person who's not good at selling to be able to start to grow a customer base. So with that being said, Queen, remember this, that if a person is an associate in your back office and they have not upgraded, they'll be able to buy the starter package. When they buy the starter package, that goes to your A-team qualification. Whether it's them personally or whether it's you get them upgraded and then they get somebody upgraded. Once you get your 6, then you get into your max team, and that's when all the big bonus money starts to hit. So I would definitely be looking at associates in my back office that have not upgraded as my first prospects to get them to purchasing these packages when they're going to be available. I think they're going to be available early to mid part of next week. Next question.
Does my current personally enrolled help me to get to my 18?
Only if they are not upgraded, okay? And the reason being is that the company is not allowing any existing upgraded folks to make purchases, and for a couple of reasons. One is, we don't want that element of folks that would be saying, now you're going to make me buy something else to get qualified. That's one reason. And another reason, from the consultant and the attorney's view, they were concerned that it would be seen that the company's making people do this, to generate more revenue or what have you. So the company said, well, we're not even going to open up that can of worms. So if you're already in the system, no matter what your rank, no matter how many Jubi Bucks you originally purchased, whether you purchased 10 or 2,500 or what have you, you're going to be starter qualified in that you don't have to purchase a package. So if you have people that you've personally enrolled and they're upgraded, so they're the same thing. They're starter package qualified. So now what we want to do is we want to very, very, very quickly get our A-team from either associates who did not upgrade or brand spanking new people that had, that weren't already here, so that you get max team qualified. And let's say you get max team qualified and you do it very quickly, Queen. You get max team qualified, and now you've got somebody that is already in your business, okay? They're already upgraded. They then go and get their first, matter of fact, I think what's going to happen, Queen, is those first few days, maybe, I think that's what the June 17th is about, that the first few days, that all those sales, they won't be credited to any max team leader until a certain date. That might be the 17th. And so if you've gotten all yours 6 in place, then by the time they click the button, let's say you're a max team leader, and now you've got existing people that are in your team and they've gotten some sales, whether they've gotten all 6 or 2 or 3 or what have you, their first 6 sales would be in your max team, so you would get that $1,000 bonus. So that's why, you know, what we've been doing is sharing this the last 3 days, and we'll do it again on next week, so that you understand it and so that you start getting people, you know, lined up, ready to go, so that you can get to max team very quickly and then start hitting those $1,000 bonuses. Next question.
Is corporate going to set up autoresponder letters to go out when to customers, encouraging them to claim their Jubi bucks?
I know it will happen. There's so many things that are I mean, and obviously that's very important. But right now, the top priorities, as you can imagine, is everything to do with the programming around the packages, the new packages, the bonuses, paying those out correctly, paying those out immediately, so on and so forth, and then other parts of the new compensation, the 10% matching bonuses, everything as it relates to programming, even though it's going to take a while, I'm sure, for most people to hit the larger rank advancement bonuses, programming all those things out. So those things are, and then programming the things that have to be reprogrammed based on what the attorneys are saying, you know, no more commissioning on Jubi bucks, so on and so forth. So all those things are, as you can imagine, at the front of the line, all right, by far at the front of the line. And to be honest with you, I don't know what is next on the agenda because I know so much of everything is on those things there. So, yes, at some point there's going to be something coming from the company communicating with customers and so on and so forth. I don't have a time frame as to when that's going to happen. Next question.
How are we going to segregate our advertising between us and international?
Well, what I would imagine is going to also happen then is in the back office where we've got some ads and what have you. I'm not sure if I understand that. But are you talking about like when we're just placing an ad? You know, there'll be some.
I mean, well, I'm okay. Basically, I think he's kind of talking about whatever we're advertising, be it the site or be it through our ads. Whenever we are advertising, how are we going to say, hey, look, this is international, and you get this product inside the U.S. or in Canada, we do this product. How are we going to segregate that?
At some point, what's going to happen, you know how, Queen, you go to a company's website and, you know, you choose a drop-down menu, you know, I might say, or might have an icon that says U.S. and Canada, and you click on that, and then you see the U.S.-Canadian version or the U.S.-Canadian presentation, and then, you know, all other countries, click here, and you see the all other countries presentation and what have you. Yeah, I'm sure there's going to be something along that line. Will it happen next week? No. But I'm sure there's going to be something along that line. And then I was already talking with Jay Joshua, again, about 20 minutes before we got on the webinar. And he's been telling me this for the last couple of days, that he felt like what was going to wind up happening is that we would probably want to segregate webinars where we have webinars that are geared towards the international audience, so they're hearing about the international products and services and not getting confused. Okay, so now I'm in Cambodia, like Isaiah. You know, I don't know what it takes to ship product there. It's probably very expensive. Even if the expense is not the issue, the time delay, I'm sure it would take some time. Sorry?
And customs could be a bit.
Yeah. I know. Yeah, like we got a nice size group in Ghana, and you know they've got a really good, you know, team there in Ghana, and some products were shipped there, and there was a customs issue. All right, so what will probably wind up happening is that there'll be the segregation of maybe webinars, so that even though the packages and the way that it pays out is pretty much the same, the talking about the product, you know, would just be for that group or what have you. That's what we'll probably wind up seeing as we go forward.
Okay, as a new affiliate, does the Elite package do anything for me over the premium other than give me more product?
I don't know what those incentives are, and this is where we get into doggone U.S. cruddy laws. My gosh, because in times past, when you would be in a company, there would be a distinct economic advantage if you bought this package above that package. Then buying this package maybe got you this quicker. Okay, so there's going to be an incentive, but what the consultants are working on is how to construct that incentive in such a way that it pleases the regulators. My gosh.
Just the language. It's the language of the incentive. They have to set up the language correctly.
Yeah, just like this, Queen. All right, so there's an incentive for you to buy, if you're a newbie, there's an incentive for you to buy one of those starter packages yourself, because then that means that you don't have to personally enroll 3. You only have to personally enroll 2 yourself because you happen to be your own customer. And so what that incentive is and how that is communicated from a regulatory okay standpoint, I don't know what that is. I'm sure it's going to be something more than just, hey, you got more product, but I don't know what that is just yet. Next question.
Okay. Well, the next question is, and that would turn us into a binary, and we're not, but is this a 2x2 plan instead of a revenue sharing plan?
No. I don't. This type of compensation model, I don't know what you call it. I've only seen it.
What I would call it is traditional meets revenue sharing, because we're doing both. A traditional unilevel.
That's true.
Along with a revenue share. So
huge bonuses.
We're on a whole nother level.
It's a hybrid. It really is. It's still a hybrid. And again,
say, do you drive a hybrid? Do you know what that is?
So no, this is not a 2x2. You know what? You know, a 2x2 is a matrix or a cycler. No, this is not a 2x2. Next question.
All right. And this is from our intellectual that we had last night, but I have to make sure that
you let Mrs. Intellectual know, but they kicked me out of college, so you know
I'm okay.
Okay.
Some of the people who does that mean that when I and somebody else they become Max Leader qualified, some of the people who purchase Fast Start packages serve to become part of my 6 $4,000 bonuses, and some of, let's say, Maxine 6 for her for $1,000 bonuses for her as well. Okay, let's say. Okay.
I don't know who a Maxine is. Who's Maxine?
That's okay. Don't worry about it. I got it now. Like one of my 2 people. Let's say I sponsor my 2 people, and then one of my people is named Maxine. Maxine also starts she starts trying to fill out her A team or Max team or whatever you want, whatever it is. And so she gets her 2, and she's working on her 6. Does her 2 become part of my 6? And does her still count for her as well?
Give me a moment. Let me close my eyes. Let me think about that again.
Okay, it's just me and 2 people. One of my 2 people is Maxine. One of my people is Maxine. The other one's John. Maxine got busy. She started getting her 6. So as she builds out her 6, and I'm still working on my 6, does what she's building out count for part of my 6? The answer is yes, Lamont. But
well, if you knew the answer, just say yes. It got me all confused.
I didn't mean to get you all confused. It's just we refer. Okay, basically, I'm already qualified, I bought my package. I'm qualified. Now I'm building out my Max team or my A team or whatever it's called. Right?
You're building out your A team.
I'm building out my A team.
But it sounded like in that case. Was she did Maxine become? Never mind. You said yes. I'll just leave it at that.
The answer is yes.
It's been a long couple of days,
you refer to, and if your people refer to, then that finishes out your max team, but that starts their max team because they refer them. My 18 rather, 18.
Right. Okay.
So it starts out their 18 while it fills out mine. I just filled mine up because my 2 got 2.
But see, she asked about $1,000 bonus. That's what threw me off.
Well, okay, but see, if they're starting their max team, because they started, they bought the starter package, and so now when they refer to, they're building out their A team also to the month, and so their 2 get 2.
Queen.
They've done their 6.
Okay, I'm confused, but let's go. If you got the answer, great. But I was looking at the numbers that she put in there. That's what confused me. But you.
Well, she started putting $1,000 bonuses in there. And
she's the intellectual. See, I told you. She's the intellectual. I got kicked out of college, Vicky. Don't do that to me. All right, so you got the question and you got the answer, right?
They were talking about somebody just made a comment about Dave in his closet. He said that the president, Jay Joshua, told him to get a bigger closet because he's going to have more room. He's going to get from Jubi Rev.
By the way, let me say this real quickly because I know some of you are YouTube folks and you are Twitter folks. I mean, it's just our universe that's talking about this. Once you get this down, Jeff, I know you're a big YouTube guy. Once you get this and you understand it, man, start YouTubing.
I'm gonna do the same thing, Sheila Monk.
Yeah,
so
start tweeting.
I'm getting ready to YouTube.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna do YouTube.
Yeah, do that too.
I asked you for something.
Yeah. Hey, and let me throw something else out at all of you folks, okay? As you're considering prospecting, all right? This model, let me tell you the story, all right, so you'll understand the story, where this model comes from. This model comes from a company called Your Travel Biz, YTB.
Right.
YTB had a phenomenal run. Now, did they run into some regulatory issues? Yes, but not because of their model. Let me tell you why they ran into regulatory issues. And the reason I bring this out is because what you might then want to start doing is connecting with people on your Facebook and Skype and what have you, asking them, hey, do you know anybody who was in YTB? Because people who are in YTB will know this compensation plan, and they'll, just like Queen, we were in Zeke and we were looking for the next Zeke.
Yeah.
I believe there were some YTB people looking for the next YTB. Now, let me tell you why YTB ran into the troubles it did. It has nothing to do with the compensation plan. It had to do with the product that they had, okay? Now, here's the deal. So YTB was selling a white label, YTB was selling a travel booking engine. Queen, you can go and Google, and you can go to Expedia, you can go to Travelocity, and you can get your own white label booking engine. Put your name on it, Queen Twitter Travel, okay? You can replicate that out. All right, you would pay a large fee and what have you. You might have to pay per month for each or one of those sites. But that's essentially what happened is that people would pay essentially $500, $449, and then their first month subscription. It was $50 a month to maintain the booking engine. So they would pay $500 to have their own booking engine. So now people would then go and book their hotel. They would go and book their airfare. They would get their friends, hey, if you're going to go on a trip, if you want to cruise, book it through my site, so on and so forth. Okay, so they had this phenomenal bonus structure. We call it the 18. They called it something else. Get 6, that got you to what we call your max team. They called it a power team. Once you got 6 sales, $1,000 bonus. Once you got 100 sales, cumulatively $10,000 bonus, and that took off. Now, here's why they got into the regulatory challenges. Remember I said, Queen, when Mr. Regulator comes, what is he going to want to see? Customer revenue, that's at least 50% of the company's overall revenues, right?
Yeah.
Well, in travel, and this is the reason why we can feature travel outside the U.S., But when we're dealing with U.S. folks, we need to feature something other than travel, because travel doesn't have a large profit margin. Example, so you got a booking engine, Queen, and someone goes to your booking engine to book a $100 hotel stay. Well, the company can't count that $100 per hotel stay as revenue, because the company did not see $100. The company would have been commissioned, YTB would have been commissioned, I don't know what the numbers were, maybe a few dollars on that $100 hotel stay, and that's what they are able to show in their books as revenue. So when Mr. Regulator came in, Mr. Regulator saw that this company had generated tens of millions of dollars in revenue, but very little of it came from the actual travel in commissions. They sold millions upon millions upon millions of dollars in travel, but that didn't produce a lot of revenue to the company because the profit margins are so slim. So, for instance, if you have ever promoted any company that has travel, they will most normally tell you, hey, you don't get any commissions on airfare because the airlines don't pay commissions. You're not going to get much on car rental because the profit margins are so slim. Now, here's the difference. When you're dealing with consumable products, the profit margins are much larger. So the profit margins, maybe, several times, whatever it costs retail, it costs a lot less than that to produce, okay? And so the profit margin is much, much larger, so that when someone is buying a product package or consumable products or what have you, there's a lot more revenue that comes into the company. So now what the company would be able to show, Queen, is if someone purchased $100 worth of Jubi coffee or $100 worth of energy or $100 worth of skincare, the company would be able to show $100 in revenue came in.
Right.
If you had a travel booking engine and a $100 hotel room was the company wouldn't be able to show that was $100 of revenue, because the company wouldn't have gotten $100 of revenue. Does that make a little sense?
It does.
Okay.
It does.
And the only reason I wanted to bring that out is because one of the things I will be doing is I will be out there looking for people that have known the YTB model, that love the YTB model, and they, just like we were looking for the next Zeke, there's folks out there looking for the next YTB. And for the life of me, I don't know why any other company hasn't adopted that model and put it with products, because the model itself was phenomenal.
Yes. They didn't quite understand what they were missing out on, Tiamat, but we do. So it was waiting for us. It was waiting for us. All right, Tiamat, we have 26 minutes, so let's move on. Okay. So do package sales by people deeper than our first level count, or is it just us and our personally sponsored package sales?
As it relates for 18 qualification or max team? Or what?
He didn't say whether
it's
18 or just
no. That goes to whatever, to an unlimited depth, so even in your 18. Because, I mean, when you think about it, what's going to happen, Queen? Let's see if we can show this. Bear with me. Bear with me, please.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, so here's Hal, right? Here's Hal. You can see that, right? You can see Hal?
I see Hal.
Okay.
I guess.
All right, so here's Hal here. So this is you. This is you, all right? And you've got your six sales there, right? Well, these represent, let's assume that these were folks that were coming into the business and purchasing those starter packages. Then you promote and you start your own max team and you start building your max team. But what are these folks going to be doing? They're still going to be looking to get to their own max team. So this 6 here could become 36, could become whatever, what have you. So this, you are in someone's max team. Now you promote and you start your own max team. These folks are still over here until they become max team leaders themselves. Now, all of these folks are going to wind up, because they were somehow in your genealogical tree, all of these folks are going to wind up being in your unilevel. all right? And so that's one thing. I will tell you that's one thing that makes our plan, I believe, even superior to what YTB had, because YTB had what they call the first team. We call it an A team. And over there, you know, you've got your 6, but your 6 could wind up being 600 in time, and you didn't get any additional commissions on anybody beyond those initial 6. Here, if your 6 wound up being 600, those 600 are going to be in your unilevel. Does that make sense, Queen?
Yes.
Okay. So that, you know, that can go to however far in depth it needs to be before you get your 6 to promote to max team leader. You know, it doesn't matter. Now, in your max team, that's paying you to an unlimited depth. All right, to an unlimited depth. But remember, all those people in your max team, it all stemmed from the fact that you enrolled at least one other person to start your max team. So that means that everybody who's in your max team is also going to be where? In your unilevel. Yeah. And so let me tell you why this is so key. And so for my folks who've been saying, well, you know, I'm Joe and Susie Average, and, you know, it may take me a while to get to my max team and so on and so forth. I want you to get this because, see, some of our leaders are starting to get it. I'm looking at what Jeff White is saying here in the box. Jeff White's getting this. I know Jeff, like me, he had to go to the funeral service. It wasn't easy for him. I know. All right, but leaders are starting to pick this thing up now. And the reason this is important is that as leaders are building out their max team, you know, get the max team and build out their max teams, and they get the taste of that $1,000 bonus, not just sitting there on the screen growing, but actually getting into their pockets, and then they start building up 17 cycles, they get a $10,000 bonus. See, think about this. In order for you to get that $10,000 bonus, you had 17 cycles, right, of you know, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, all, you know, in your, so that what's happening in your unilevel? That unilevel's building out.
It's growing.
And we're still teaching people build in 3s, use the Jubi Suite, build in 3s. So now people are starting to build up their unilevel. And I can tell you, Queen, that when I started doing placements in with the Jubi Suite,
right,
I didn't just place with top leaders.
Right.
I did some placements with some folks that weren't great business builders, but doggone, they've been loyal. Right. I can tell you this, Queen, what I'm going to be telling leaders going forward. You know, this has been a turbulent situation. This has been a difficult situation. And if you got some Joe and Susie averages that have stayed the course, reward them. Yeah. Do some placements with them as you're bringing it. Because, Queen, what's going to happen is as leaders, as we're building out our max teams, we're still going to be personally enrolling as well. And then we're going to get those folks personally enrolling, you know, so they can build out their max team. But we're going to be using that Jubi Suite. And I want to make sure that the people that have stayed the course, you know, I got somebody to give, hey, I want to plant them in there. And remember, Queen, I don't want them on my first level now anyway.
Right.
I want folks on my 5th level, 6th level, 7th level, 8th level.
Yeah, 5, 6, 7, 8.
5, 6, 7, 8.
5, 6, 7, 8.
That's 5, 6, 7, 8. Fantastic. Next.
Okay, also part of the same question is also, where do the people we've already enrolled fit into our teams?
Okay, this is where this is going to, what the company's going to do is they're going to say, okay,
and the people
everyone can start building their A team, go. All right, and then we're going to go and we're going to start building out our A team. And then there's going to be a date where the company wouldn't have attributed those sales to any max team leader at that point, okay? Because we're all starting building our A teams to get to max team. And then what's going to happen is it's going to look genealogically up the line, and whoever has become a max team leader, all right, and hopefully you have. Hopefully you've gotten your 6. So if you've gotten your 6 in that interim, and this is where that June 17th, and it may be even later than that, the company may even hold that off to give people a little bit more time. But if you've gotten your 6, and now you're a max team leader, and now that means if you have people that were in your genealogical tree, you know, person enrolled, you know, their first 6 sales now would have been a part of your max team. Let me say that again, okay? So the company's going to say 1, 2, 3, go. Now we go out. We're building our A teams. We're building our A teams. We're building our A teams, okay? The company's going to give us a date that says, hey, on this date, this is when we're going to look up line and see who's already qualified as a max team leader. So let's take Jeff, and I know Jeff has some great leaders on his team. I think Minnie's on his team as an example. So let's say Jeff is now a max, he gets his 6, he's a max team leader. Minnie, who is personally enrolled, I think, by Jeff, she also maybe has become a max team leader. Well, what would have happened is if Jeff is a max team leader by the time that date happens to be, and it may be June 17th, but it may be pushed off. I don't know, okay? Let's say June 17th right now. He's a max team leader. Minnie's got her 6. She's a max team leader. But what would have happened is because Jeff personally enrolled Minnie, those 6 sales that Minnie had would be attributed to Jeff's max team. So Jeff would get the $1,000 bonus.
Yes.
What was the question?
No, it wasn't a question. It was somebody was saying something to you, Lamont. Said, just remember, Lamont, breaking up is so hard to do. That means when you. But anyway, so I had to laugh. But anyway, Jeff says to Elena, if you are on here, to please ask your question. But I'm not sure we're going to get to it if you ask it now. So, let's see. After being Diamond since day one on June 1st, I downgraded to Jade. Once quality score was announced, since my quality is over 40, and I have CV of over 200. With this in mind, since my Jade gets added to my 200 CV, this gives me 215 PQV. Shouldn't I be getting paid as a Diamond, which means 10% on my customers and earning on my Jubi point for 105 days?
Yeah, your rank is based on your PQV, not necessarily because you have a $200 a month or a $15 a month. It's based on that volume. If you're saying that that's not happening because you've got the CV and that's not happening, then I would need you to issue a support ticket because I don't know if I don't know when you got the 200 CV. Did that just happen and so it takes time for the system to reflect that? I don't know. So I would need you to issue a support ticket on that one. But yes, if you have 200 CV, then that should no. You said June. When did the CV come into play? I guess would be my question. Because if they did the CV in May,
was for May, yeah, and this is June. So I'm not sure if his CV is for May or June. I mean, the bottom line is. But
that should qualify. If they did that in June, if they did that in May, that should qualify them
for June,
rank-wise, for the month of June.
For June, okay. So
yeah.
So
it should qualify you for
rank-wise. If you had it in May, then it qualifies you for June. But if you did it in June, that qualifies you for July.
Exactly.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Other than we're still in qualifying for May. I mean, for with the 7 days grace, which ends tomorrow.
Oh yeah, is that right? Is it tomorrow? So guys, make sure you have your CV. International folks, there might be something for my international folks, particularly for your ability to ship. What I would do if I was international, I would make sure, hear me, this is a hint, if I'm international, I would make sure that I have at least my PQV in place. At least have my PQV in place for the rank that I would want. So hint, 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 that's all I'll say about that. Don't ask me anything else about it.
Personal volume or the quality score?
Well, I'm talking about the personal volume as it relates to the CV for my international folks. So obviously, international folks are at a disadvantage because shipping internationally has not been the easiest thing.
Right.
But that's all I'll say about that. Make sure you've got your PQV. You have to read through the lines on that.
Okay. In light of the new Max plan, when building 3 legs, do you have a strategy for placing personally enrolled free associates who are non-responsive in the Jubi suite? I think we're not placing them at all.
And you know what, though? What I was told by programming is that they are automatically locked. They've not turned that functionality on. I heard that was going to be turned on June the 15th, but I would have to verify that.
Well, they did tell us we had to finish placing in our Jubi suite by the 15th.
Okay, and so what I'm being told from programming is that even free associates, either you have to place them, or this is really good. Either you have to place them, or they just lock in on day 60. I think it's going to wind up being a 75-day period. Now, let me tell you what I would do. I got it. Let me tell you what I would do. This is exactly what I would do. Because if we're talking about June 15th, I may see if they can give us. I may see if they can give us an extension with what's going on. Because what I'd like to be able to do is for us to be able to go and do a blitz with our associates and say, hey, 2 major things that are happening. Number one, if you upgrade, then I'm going to the next person I'm connecting with all the people that I enrolled that haven't upgraded. You know, if you upgrade, then the very next person that I get to upgrade, I'm going to place them in your organization. All right, a little fear of loss. And now, what are we going to want them to upgrade to? At least a $500 package.
Right.
All right. So now, what that does is that helps you to build out your A team. That then helps you to get someone, activated, and then if you get somebody else, whether it's somebody else that actually upgrades from your existing team of associates, or whether you have a brand new person coming aboard, you're not giving them the enrollment. All right, you maintain the enrollment. You would just place them in the Jubi suite. All right, one under the other. So that might assist you in getting your 6. Is using that Jubi suite. So I will probably, let me make a note and see if they can withhold that that June 15th to give us a little bit more time. Give me a moment. June 15th for now, other than that, Queen, if what I would probably wind up doing is, depending on how many people that you've had personally enrolled that didn't upgrade, you upgrade 1 or 2 or 3 or what have you, and just kind of, put them one underneath each other and kind of build a line. And then what I would probably wind up doing is just going on and placing all of the other folks, maybe in a leg or what have you. And then,
in one leg all by themselves since they're not.
Yeah.
That is a good idea.
Yeah.
Since they're not upgraded and probably won't be after, if they don't during the time we're working on it, then they probably won't upgrade. So then just place them in a leg by themselves. Like one. If you place them in a leg by themselves, and you could still kind of work that list, and maybe you get 1 or 2 that upgrade. And let's say, for instance, if you get some people that's maybe in the middle on the bottom of that leg that upgrade, then you can go back to the people above and say, hey, just had someone to upgrade. You're missing out on some money. You're missing out on some money. Okay.
So that's how I would do that. But I would certainly use that as a leverage list.
Okay. Peter, we have 10 minutes. This is a question. I'm not sure. I'm not exactly sure what they're asking, but can I have 2 people from 2 different teams get sales to equal my 6? As in, Susie is not a team qualified yet, or Tim is not either, but Tim has 4 sales toward his A team, and Susie has 2. Does that get me a $1,000 bonus?
Only if you're a max team leader. Yeah, if they're in your max team, yes. If they're in your max team, okay, that's a great question. Okay, All right, hold on. I think I know what they're asking.
Okay.
All right, let's go here. Let's see if I. So, let's say you've enrolled these two in your Max team. All right, you've got Marla here, and you've got Jean here. Marla
now,
doesn't have her
did I enroll them in my Max team or in my A team?
Let's say that the $1,000 bonus is only going to happen once you are Max team leader and with the activity in your Max team. Okay, all right. But for instance, let's say that you're a Max team leader and you enrolled Marla, and then you enrolled Scott here in your Max team, personally enrolled, so you get your direct sale commission. And now Marla's team has 4 sales, and Scott's team has a couple. Actually, Marla's purchase is 1 sale. Scott's purchase is 1 sale. Marla has 2 more sales right now in her team. All right, that's 4 sales. Scott has 2 more sales. All right, that's 6. So it didn't have to come all from Marla's leg. It doesn't matter as long as it was a total of 6 in your entire Max team, no matter where it happened in your Max team, or your Max team reached 3,500 in starter volume. And this is where what Dave was telling me, because he has the experience with this model. He said, you know, what was happening is, you know, maybe it took a while for some people to kind of, you know, kind of get it rolling. He said, but what would wind up happening is now you've got Marla here, and it's you and Marla trying to build out, you know, your Max team. She's trying to build out her A team with those 6 sales, right? And then all of a sudden you had, you know, 4 people. So now it's you and Marla and another 4 people. All right, and then all of a sudden you got 10 people in your Max team, then you got 20, then you got 30. So now you got 30 people, and there's someone that may have gone on to start their Max team, but let's say you got 30 people that are still working to complete their A team in your Max team, and so it started a snowball effect, and so where maybe it took you a couple of months to get your first $1,000 bonus, and then now you were getting a $1,000 bonus every 6 weeks instead of every 8 weeks, and then now you're getting a $1,000 bonus every 4 weeks. In other words, you're getting a $1,000 bonus every other week, $1,000 bonus every week, and a $1,000 bonus every few days. And then he's, you know, what? Again, he saw it from the inside. He said there were folks. Now I don't know if they were on his team, or if he was on their team, or sideline, or what have you, that were knocking out multiple $1,000 bonuses a day. And if you think about it, okay, think about this, Jeff. yeah. Think one of the things that makes binaries so appealing to people is that you could have multiple cycles a day, right? You know, multiple cycles a week or what have you. So when you start building out your Max team, all right, and you are focused on helping people get to their Max team from your Max team, all right, they're building their A team in your Max team, you could have, you know, multiple cycles, not just a month, not just a week, but it could get to the point daily. And just think about this, guys. All right, think about this. Taiwan, think about this. How many people did you personally enroll in Jubi? Jeff, how many people did you personally enroll in Jubi? How many people wound up being on your team? Those were some big numbers. Big numbers. Now, I know people were enrolling with the idea of revenue sharing, but we got to remember that the reality is that most people early on were building their point totals, and even though they saw numbers on the screen, it didn't translate to their pocketbook. So when folks are going to start seeing $1,000 bonuses again and again and again, and then $10,000 bonuses, that word is going to get out there. I already know next week there's going to be some folks on YouTube, if not before next week, talking about $1,000 bonuses, $10,000 bonuses. All right, I can already tell you there's going to be a professional video here real soon. You know, 1K, 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 boom, 10K. You know, Queen. And so that word's going to get out. That word's going to get out, and folks, you know, that's going to bring one of my mentors said it's easier to give birth than it is to resurrect the dead. I want to see, you know, when all the dust settles, I know not everybody's going to be building with the same fervor that they've been building. Some people are doing other things. That's fine. All I want to see, Queen, I want to see who we have that's committed, and then we're going to go and we're going to help those folks get to their Max team, and then we're going to help you start getting those $1,000 bonuses. And I don't care if you are Joe or Susie Average. We're going to help you get to your max team. Hear me. We're going to help you get to your max team. Hear what I said, doggone it. We're going to help you get to your max team and then help you get those $1,000 bonuses. Again.
Yes, because if we get to max team, then we'll work on the max. Yeah, there you go. Okay.
What else we got?
All right. We have 4 minutes.
Okay, I'm ready when you are.
Okay. So when you build your A team by getting your 6, and then you get one more, you are now a max team leader. Now every six starter volume packages that you or anyone in your team create, you will get a $1,000 bonus.
In your max team. So the rest of that question was whether they are from your original A team or not. No to that, George. You will get the $1,000 bonus from only in your max team. Those are, so your A team is your A team, all right? And then your max team is your max team. The $1,000 bonuses you earn are from your max team. Any bonuses earned because of the activity in your A team goes to your max team leader, whoever that happens to be, okay? Now, anyone that's in your A team, because in time there could be hundreds of people that are in your A team, you don't get the max team bonuses. What you do get is them in your unilevel. And then what happens is anyone that's in your max team, they're building their A teams. So you are building one A team in someone's max team. You are building one A team in someone's max team, your team of 6. Now, your team of 6 could eventually become a team of 60, a team of 600, a team of 6,000, and we want that. Why? Because those people would still be in your unilevel. But now when you transition and you're the max team leader, everyone that is in your max team, they're building their A teams. So if you've got 5 people in your max team, you got 5 people building their A teams. That 5 could be 50 now. That 50 could be 100. That 100 could be 1,000 now, building in your max team, and you're getting the $1,000 bonuses, $1,000 bonuses, 10K, 10K, 10K. And now the whole idea is to help promote them so that they start their max team. And remember the beautiful part, anybody from your A team is in your unilevel. Anybody from your max team is in your unilevel. Anybody you promote to max team leader from your max team, meaning their A team, they've got their 6 and they're now promoted out. Anybody that's in their max team is in your unilevel. When they promote a max team leader out, those in your unilevel, that makes up all your GQV. That's going to help you get your car bonuses. That's going to help you get your ranks. That's going to eventually help you get your rank advancement bonuses of what are these numbers? Now, this isn't completely finished, so I'm hoping these numbers are correct. Look at these rank advancement bonuses. Now, don't ask me how you qualify for them. I don't know. I haven't seen that part. But look, Queen.
Oh.
Look.
Earn 10K, 30K, 75K, 125K,
oh.
500. Okay, and then 1 million. Yeah. Leadership bonuses. Okay.
Do we have time for one more, or is that it?
No, you don't. That's it.
Okay. All right.
Sorry, guys.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we do not. I think I'm hosting the Income Opportunity webinar tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern. We don't have a team webinar scheduled tomorrow, so we'll be back with team webinars next week on Tuesday. And now we're going to transition. We're going to go over to the JubiRev webinar. Webinar with the president. It's going to start at 9 p.m. Eastern, so 30 minutes from now. I don't think that's going to be an income opportunity presentation as much. He'll probably do a little bit in case we've got some guests there, but I think it's more to address us as to, you know, what's been happening the last few days, where we are, where we're going, and all of those good things. So you should have another opportunity potentially to get some questions in. So as you come on that webinar, after we go through the introduction phase, if you have questions that we didn't get to after you go through the introduction phase, I would go on and put your questions in, so that way if we do a Q&A, we'll start from the top with the questions, and we'll be able to get to your question hopefully sooner rather than later. See the advantage that you have by coming on this webinar? You see that, Chloe? We love you guys, committed to you. We are so committed to your success. Love each and every one of you. Let's change the world together, starting with yours. Remember, JubiRev, JubiMax, not just a company. It's a movement.
It's a movement.
Have a good one, guys.
So that's it for now. If you have any questions, please get back to the person that shared this video with you, or you can send a support ticket from your JubiRev back office. Thank you. We look forward to hearing of your success.